We have resources. We can get you connected with counseling.
The Victim Witness Unit was created to assist victims of violent crimes in understanding a very complicated system. Early on, they're escorted through the investigative stages, and then if it goes to prosecution, we escort them through the prosecution process, and then in the end to be able to make a victim impact statement.
My role is to kind of negotiate, I think, the map of the criminal justice system for victims. I always kind of liken it to being put into a different country that you don't know the customs, you don't know the language, and all of a sudden you're plopped down into this criminal justice system after the most traumatic thing that's probably ever going to happen to you has happened. And we kind of expect people to understand what the system's about, to understand the language, to understand the terms, and people really don't. I want to help them negotiate that process.
Primarily we work with victims of violent crimes. We also work with children that have been abused either physically or sexually. We work with a lot of domestic violence victims, and then obviously we also assist detectives and patrol officers in cases where somebody's been traumatized and they need assistance.
Do you get along good with your brother?
Usually when we meet people, it is probably the worst time of their life. That's when we meet people.
I kind of figured you would.
And so they are just overwhelmed. They feel like they're not going to be able to make it through this event. They can't process what's going to happen in the next hour, much less what's going to happen in the next year, whatever. And so I think our role is to kind of explain that now tonight this is what's going to happen, tomorrow this is what you can expect, and give them kind of a day by day of what to anticipate for the next little bit so they can kind of have a little bit of control come back. And my real goal is to hopefully encourage them and to give them a sense that they can make it through this.
A number of years ago, I was a victim of a crime of betrayal that absolutely devastated my life and the life of my family. It was hard to go about daily life. Everything that had been familiar and easy was no longer that way. And when you're on the other side, you have no idea what a criminal process is like. And it was very unfamiliar and very confusing. And then they begin to provide a large array of services. But I think the thing that really made the difference is that we felt that we were cared for by the people in the Victims Witness Unit and truly by the detective in the case as well.
What Susanna did is when her and her family were in trauma and her kids needed her the most, she got up every day and did what she needed to do for her kids. And she got up every day and was strong for them. And she has been through an incredible change in her life. Her life was turned upside down, and she handled it with grace and with caring, and so she always inspires me to go out and try to help people and do the same thing.
It was more than a job for them to take care of us, and they really helped us come back from the edge.
I am so sorry that you're having to go through this.
I think that the job picks you, you don't pick it, and I think that ultimately the people that do this type of work, it's a passion, it's something that requires you to, I think, be healthy professionally and personally, and you have a desire to help people, but you also have a strong understanding of the system that you help those people through.
It's a privilege for me to be able to become involved and try to help someone through that process. And I think that we all recognize that victims are just people, and it's the same thing as if I was trying to help my sister through something or my daughter, and we will walk you through the process and hopefully get you out on the other side, and you'll be okay.